Good morning. It's about 6 o'clock and I've got a lot of work ahead of me. Today is all garden day, except for it's Matilda's birthday today, so she turns 9, so big ups to her. We're going to spend probably most of the middle of the day inside with her celebrating her birthday, but the colder parts of the day is going to be spent in the garden. So yesterday I've just sort of forked these 3 beds. I'm just going to top it up just a thin layer of compost, nothing too extravagant, and then we're going to plant in there. So let me quickly do that so we can get on to other things. So that's the hard part done. That's all ready for planting. It's time for the easy part, but I've just seen some carrots popping up under this tarp, so I'm going to untarp that and then start planting all of the stuff I'm going to plant in here. May have left it a touch late, but as you can see, there are carrots popping up everywhere. I just hope I haven't left the tarp on for too long. Anyway, time to get to the task at hand. It's planted, it's not finished. I'm now planting seeds. So I've got corn seeds. I buy corn seeds in bulk because I use a lot of it. And these corn over here are getting to a point now where it'll be quite cool when these are staggered. This is kind of my trademark from last year. Eggplants on the outside, corn on the inside, and bush beans on the out edge. So I'm going to quickly plant that, and then I'm going to cover it, and then that should be finished. So that is the nets all up, all 4. I even done the carrot ones because the birds will come and dig around them, and then I'll lose quite a lot of carrots. And the reasoning for these nets, because the corn and the bush beans, the birds are going to straight away go for them. So I'd say I'd only leave it on for maybe 2 weeks, and then I can take all this off. Seems to be working for all the other plants and that. And yeah, I have a ton of weeding to do in this garden. We're trying to get the weeds before the seed heads of the weeds come up. Like you see this prickle plant here, it's starting to go to flower. So as soon as they go to flower, they're going to set seeds everywhere, and it's going to be a never-ending cycle. So we're trying to break that cycle. And down here, a ton of kikuyu grass. It's never-ending down here. We just left it because of the watermelon pumpkin last year. We left it, and it just got way ahead of us. So that's why we're doing all the trellising up now, so we don't have to have them in the pathways, and we can actually weed the pathways. But what I was coming down here for is the okra. I just took off the netting for the okra, and they're looking really good. I'm very happy with them. They're starting to set their own little flowers, which I might just chop off to get them a bit bigger. And we're obviously going to have to stake them as well with bamboo. But that's happening another day. So is the weeding. It's too hot for that. I've got to go over to the other garden, and these tomatoes down here, I've got to put some compost around them, which I was supposed to do weeks ago. But yeah, they're looking a bit shocking, these tomatoes. All these broad beans have to be harvested probably soon, and then we're going to chop all them out. We'll leave the root system in the ground because it's kind of feeding it, and we might plant something else on the other side there. But yeah, for now, I'm going to quickly feed them. Okay, that is done, and some of these tomatoes are looking pretty bad. I mean, I think a whole row down there is not even survived. So yeah, I think as Debs pointed out in the last video, I've killed the backup plant. So yeah, at least I finally got around to that. I can always trim the suckers on the side of the big tomato plants and root them in some soil, and they should come up. Haven't really done it much, but I'm pretty sure it would work. What is happening in this garden, which is good, is the garlic. So this here is the garlic. I've been trying to keep on top of the weeds and it's not too bad, and I haven't seen any flower heads popping up yet, so they're still growing, which is good. And I haven't had any rust yet, which is also good. So that is Prinator garlic there. So I'm hoping maybe in a couple of weeks time that'll be ready to harvest, and we'll get a good crop out of that. This is the main event for today. Underneath this tarp, which is going to be watermelon, pumpkin, squash. I've decided against my potato patch for doing that because I've scored myself some more potatoes, seed potatoes, and I thought, what the heck, if I just put a thin layer of compost in here, maybe till it, we can grow potatoes again. But before we do that, we've still got to harvest, I think 1, 2, 3, I think 4.5 rows of potatoes. And we've done 4 rows, so we've done 3 as you seen a couple of videos ago, and Debs has been hacking away at this row, but I'm not doing that at the moment. I'm going to go up just for a little bit because it's hot. I'll probably bring my line trimmer down, I think, and I'll line trim all around this tarp and try to get this net out, and maybe a line trim around here, and then get the tarp off. The reason being is all the seed heads off everything I cut hopefully go onto the tarp and not onto the garden beds that are hiding underneath here. That's the plan anyway. The plan is tonight to plant this out. We'll see. If I don't get around to it, it's no biggie. I'll do it another day, tomorrow, maybe. Anyway, I'll be back down here very shortly. So I'm back down here and I'm ready to get into mowing. So I'll put you guys on time lapse and we'll transform the perimeter of this pumpkin patch. Okay, I've been gone for quite some time. We just had Matilda's little party, playing some games and stuff like that. So now I'm back down here in the hot sun. So before I actually run out of line, and it's 2.7 mil thick, and I didn't have any more, and I'm definitely not going to town. So now I've got some 2 mil thick wire, so hopefully it doesn't keep breaking on me. But I guess we're just gonna have to see what happens. This is the area I've got to work with. I just line trimmed the pathways and that just to get it to look a little bit neater, and get rid of all those little tiny weeds that the weed mat didn't kill, or the tarp didn't kill, sorry. So we've got 1, 2, 3 rows, and sometimes I use that 4th row, but it gets real weedy, so I'm thinking I just want to put maybe another weed mat there. And what I am thinking is these big weed mats, I'm pretty sure I've got a lot of it left over. I might actually put some on top of here, like on top of the rows, and burn some holes every half a meter or whatever. Got to read up the spacing maybe, and then hopefully we won't have to weed this patch. And I would like to put a bit more weed mat around the perimeter and that, but probably don't need to since I'm going all the way with the 2 meter weed mat. But it's definitely happening a bit later on because it's way too hot. So I've just come back down from having dinner, and just before I went, we actually did, well, I got this weed mat. I've got enough for 2 rows for what I could find there. And then Debs and Evelyn harvested some potatoes. So we're going to be taking them up in a minute. But I've realised instead of focusing on this patch, I've actually got some more, I think it's peppers and chilies to plant over in the original garden. So we're going to go do that, and then I'll see what kind of time I've got left, because it's probably 7:30, something like that, so it's getting quite late. So these here are my jalapenos, and they are going to go on each side of these tomatoes, which I do have to trim and all that, but at the moment I'm going to quickly weed this out and plant them. Okay, that's all planted. Luckily I got Deb's help, and we got it done quick smart, but it is pretty dark now, so we're gonna head up. We're gonna get some garlic, check on the meat chickens and that, but there's no point in showing you guys because you guys can't see anything. So I'll catch you guys in the morning. So it's the next morning, and last night we were up quite late doing gardening and that, but we realised these guys were out of food. So this morning I've just come down, topped up their food bin, and their water. They had no water either, so see a bad mismanagement on my half, but happens. They're growing big though. I think maybe another 3 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, and they'll be ready for butchering. But anyway, this is what's happening this morning. I'm going to try my hardest to get these watermelon planted. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull this weed mat off. I don't know whether yet I'm going to till or not. I might not till. I might just fork it, put some compost on, and then lay the weed mat off, then lay the weed mat over and burn some holes and plant. It's just as easy as that. If you're wondering why I'm not doing fencing, the neighbour's coming out at 2 o'clock because he had to drench some cows, so that's going to happen a bit later on. But for now, I'm going to get hauling. So the weed mat is down on top of the mound. I haven't put the staples in yet, but I'll do that very shortly. But first off, I'm going to burn these holes and then get them planted. So that is all planted now. That is pumpkin, squash, watermelon. Some died in the greenhouse. Long story, my fault. Let's not get into that. It's getting quite hot, even though it's like only, must be about 8:30 in the morning. But I think I'm going to prepare this one, put compost down, get the holes burnt, but I'm not going to plant it until this afternoon, and this probably will be all watermelon. I'm pretty sure I've got watermelon still alive in the small greenhouse. If I don't, I'll probably end up buying some. It just is what it is. Breaking my own rules, but that's what happens. Normally I want to plant everything from seed, but it gets a bit too much sometimes. So I'll get that done, and then I've got to find some more tarp for that bottom piece. So there should be 3 areas going to get planted down here. But the issue is the bit I need is on the sandpit. Do you remember that? The sandpit I was supposed to build for the kids? Yeah, I pretty much forgot about it. Right, the kids helped me out a little bit here, but we got this last bed done. It's like 3 separate tarps, so it's not looking flash, but I need a whole lot more staples to staple it down. But that's all ready for planting basically, other than the staples of course. So hopefully tonight we can plant some watermelon, and maybe I'll have to buy some pumpkin in that, but yeah, I'll have to set up the water line again, but I'm pretty happy with that. So hopefully I'll see you guys later on tonight for some planting. So it is a couple of days later. We got distracted, got doing a lot of fencing and that, which you'll see, give you an update in a later video. But today I've got these watermelons that I actually planted from seed by myself. They look alright, so we're going to plant them in here, and whatever I don't have left we will buy seedlings. It's just how it is. So I'll quickly get them planted and see how much holes I still have left to fill. So that is the watermelon planted. I've got actually a few extra there because I thought about it and I didn't want to plant like all of that bottom one in watermelon, and the tarp is not really secure enough for me to plant yet. So I'm probably going to get some stuff tomorrow or sometime this week, some more staples, so I can staple that one and this one in the ground, and then I can plant. It'll probably end up being pumpkin realistically down there, pumpkin and squash. But anyway, I'm going to finish the video there, and hopefully in the next video you might see a bit more of an update of our fencing for the ostrich, for the emu, for all of our other animals on the flats. But for now, I'm going to catch you guys later, and I'll see you in the next one. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit that like button. See you later. Look out.